Why do some people stay motivated when life gets hard while others give up quickly? Imagine this. Two people lose their jobs on the same day. One blames the economy, their boss, their luck, bad timing. The other, they're already updating their resume. Same situation, totally different responses. Psychologists call it your locus of control. Let's call it the locus rule. Once you get this, you will stop waiting for motivation and start creating it. Hi, I'm Dr. Ganesh. Today, I want to share one shift that separates people who keep going from people who keep quitting. This is not going to be just a motivational talk. This is psychology backed by 70 years of research. And once you apply it, you stop feeling stuck and start feeling in control. Most people have never heard this, even though it's quietly running their entire life. Let's dive in. So, what is the locus rule? Let's keep it simple. The locus rule comes from something called the locus of control. The word locus just means place. So it's about where you put the control in your life. People with internal locus or internal control believe that I am responsible or I am in charge of what happens to me. My actions matter. On the other hand, people with external control or external locus believe that life just happens. I can't control it. Success is about luck or it's in the hand of other people. This belief changes everything. How you act, how you bounce back, and how long you stay motivated. Here is the rule. The more control you think you have, the more motivated you stay. Not because you will win every time, because you believe trying matters. And here is what is crazy. Your brain is very good at finding proof for whatever you believe. Think you are powerless? You will notice everything that you can't control. Think you have influence? You will spot chances to take action. It becomes real because you make it real. This started with psychologist Julian Rotter in the 1950s. He noticed that some patients took charge of their therapy progress. Others credited every progress to the therapist. Guess who got better? Since then, thousands of studies show that in school, kids with internal control do better. Not because they are smarter, but they believe that studying matters. In health, people with internal control are 40% more likely to exercise. They quit smoking more. They follow doctors' advice. Why? Because they believe that their actions will influence their health and fitness. At work, a study of 10,000 employees found that people with internal control do way better in their careers and earn much more money. They did not wait for promotions. They went after skills and opportunities. In relationships, couples where both take ownership are much happier. Instead of blaming each other, they focus on what they can do better. Here is the fact that makes things even more interesting. People with internal control are not just more successful, they are happier, less anxious, and less depressed. People with external control, they feel powerless. They give up sooner. They often develop what psychologists call the learned helplessness, where you stop trying because you believe that nothing you do matters. So your sense of control predicts success more than IQ, education, or family background. Think about that. Let me show you what this looks like in real life. Let's take some examples. The bad grade. Two students fail a test. Student A, the teacher hates me. The questions were unfair, or I'm just not good at this. Student B, that sucked. Let me figure out what I missed and do better next time. Same grade, one has already given up and the other is making plans for the next time. One has excuses, the other takes ownership. Let's take the example of the fight. Imagine two people argue with their respective partner. Person A thinks they never listen. They always start fights. They need to change. Whereas the person B thinks we are both upset. Let me think about how I can say this better next time. One waits for the other to change. The other creates the change within. You see the pattern? Internal people don't avoid problems. They just respond differently. They look for what they can influence, even if it is small. Let's now understand the cost of external thinking or external locus. Frankly, living with external control is easier. You can always blame anything but yourself. You get to wait, you don't have to take action. That's easier in the moment, but over time costs you more than you can imagine. So here is the cost of external thinking. Number one, you lose confidence. When you think you can't change outcomes, you stop trying altogether. Number two, you lose resilience. Every setback feels permanent because you don't know how to bounce back. Number three, you lose self-respect. Deep down, you know that you are making excuses. That kills your confidence and that makes you lose self-respect. Number four, you lose relationships. People get tired of constant blames. They want to be around people who take responsibility, who take charge. And here is the worst part. External control gets stronger over time. Every time you blame something else, you train your brain to find more things to blame. Instead of playing your life, you become a spectator in your own life. You wait for motivation that never comes. You plan, but you never do. You think, but you don't move. You hope, but don't work. This leads to quiet hopelessness, not dramatic breakdown, but slowly realizing you have stopped believing in yourself. But here is the good news, you can change this. Now let's understand how to build internal locus. Let me be very clear, your locus is not fixed. It's a learned behavior. Most of us develop external habits because we grow up with others making decisions for us. School tells us what to learn. Parents decide our schedule. Society gives us the script how we should live. So from childhood, we learn how to wait for permission and motivation. You can shift this, and here is how. Number one, catch your words. Notice when you say, I can't help it. They made me, or I had no choice. Every time you catch yourself, ask, what part of this can I change or control? Even if it is just your response, it counts. Number two, start stupidly small. Don't try to change everything at once. Start with a tiny thing. Want to exercise? Don't plan a 2-hour workout. Just put on gym clothes and start working out for 5 minutes, 10 minutes. Stressed about money? Don't solve everything. Just start by tracking your money or spendings. Mad at someone? Don't try to change them. Just listen better in one conversation. Just start. Give yourself those small wins by taking control of small things. Number three, keep a control journal. Every night, write one thing that you controlled that day. For example, today I did not check my phone the first thing in the morning. Or today I paused before reacting to some email or text. Today I did 5 push-ups. This way you're training your brain to notice that you're taking control of small things. Number four, turn problems into data. When things go wrong, don't ask why me. Ask what I can learn from this. This way every failure becomes feedback. Turn problems into opportunities. Number five, choose your crowd. Attitudes spread, they are contagious. If you always hang around with complainers and blamers, you will become one. Hang around problem solvers, you will think like them. So pick your environment and people on purpose. Now let's see how you can apply this today. Right now, think of one area that feels stuck. Your health, career, money, relationship, or habits. Be honest, what are you blaming? Your genes, schedule, other people, boss, environment, country, economy, PM. Now ask, what 5% of this can I control? Just 5%, not 50%. Can't control genes? Control what you eat today. Can't control your boss? Control how you respond to a feedback. Can't control your past? Control your next hour. Find your 5% and do something about it this day, this week. Not for big results, it is just to remind your brain, I am in charge. The idea is to focus on things that you can control. Here is what happens when you do that. Your self-respect grows. Every time you act instead of blame, you prove you matter. Your confidence builds. Small wins create bigger wins in the long run. You start solving instead of analyzing. People want to be around you more. Most importantly, your motivation stops depending on outside stuff. It comes from a quiet belief. What I do makes a difference. And that is real motivation. You don't need perfect plans. You don't need ideal conditions. You don't need to feel ready. Just need to believe what I do matters. That is the Locus Rule. If you found this useful, do not forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. See you soon in the next video.